Hey guys, today's lesson is still word problems, but we're dealing more with consecutive numbers. Consecutive means just one after another. Examples of consecutive numbers, if I am thinking my counting numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. So consecutive, think of like your counting numbers. Consecutive even numbers, 2. I'm going to start with 2. The next even number after 2 is 4. Next even number after 4 is 6. Next one would be 8, 10, 12, and so on. Then consecutive odd numbers. So if I start with 1, next odd number after 1 is 3. Next odd number after 3 is 5. Next odd number is 7, 9, 11, and so on. So those are all examples. All right, looking at number 10, the sum of two consecutive numbers is 123. So we're doing the same setup. We're going to set up our variables. So I'm going to say x is my first number. Now, if I'm looking at consecutive numbers, to get from a 1 to a 2, I add 1. To get from a 2 to a 3, I add 1. So the sum of two consecutive numbers, I'm adding 1 to the previous number. So to find my second consecutive number, it would be x plus 1. So sum means I add them together. So I'm doing my first number of x plus my second number of x plus 1 equals 123. Once you have the equation set up, same steps as we've done the past 2 days, we combine like terms. So I have an x plus an x gives me 2x plus 1 is 123. Subtract 1, so 2x equals 122. Divide by 2. So I get x is 61. So if x is 61, that's my first number. The next consecutive number after 61 would be 62. Another example. The sum of two consecutive numbers is 85. So we set it up the exact same way as we did for number 10. I'm putting my first number as x. The number that comes after x, I'm just adding 1 to it. So my second number is x plus 1. Sum means I'm adding them together, equals 85. So x plus 1 equals 85. Combine like terms. So I have 2x, and this is going to be the same steps every time that we're doing word problems. After you set up your equation, you always combine like terms next. And those like terms are going to most likely be your x's. You might have numbers that you combine. And then once you combine the like terms, it's 2 steps. And we're dividing by 2 as our last step for this problem. So x is 42. If I'm finding two consecutive numbers, the number after 42 is 43. All right, if I look at my even numbers, finding two consecutive even numbers. Again, my first number is always going to be x. If I look back at my list of even numbers, let's pretend 2 is my x. To get from a 2 to a 4, I have to add 2. So I'm adding 2 to this x. Find two consecutive even numbers whose sum is 54. Sum again means add, so you're adding your first number of x plus your second number of x plus 2 equals 54. Combine like terms. Then once you combine like terms, two steps. So for this one, we're subtracting 2 because right now it's adding. And then we divide by 2. So 52 divided by 2 gives me 26. Now the next even number after 26 is 28. All right, and last one, sum of two consecutive odd numbers. So if I go back up to my examples of odd numbers, if I pretend that this 1 is an x as my first number, to get from 1 to a 3, I add 2. So if my first number is x, to get to the second odd number, or the number right after, you add 2. Now this time the sum is 128, so I'm going to do my first number of x, my second number of x plus 2 equals 128. Combine like terms. So 2x's plus 2 equals 128. Subtract 2. 2x equals 126. Divide by 2. So I get x equals 63. The next odd number after 63 is 65. Okay. Let me know if you guys have any questions about consecutive numbers.